Star and Marco are playing a version of Chutes and Ladders, which involves creating tiny sentient duplicates of each other which cease to exist when the game ends, which is just slightly too cruel to think about, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much. As they're finishing the game, Buff Frog appears through a portal and asks them to watch his tadpoles while he goes to work. He gives them a binder of care instructions, which Marco of course follows to the letter, but Star is more concerned with the babies having fun, and ends up causing a whole bunch of problems. Just when the instructions from the binder are able to sort out those problems, the tadpoles start to go through their metamorphosis, growing legs. They are immediately completely mobile and start causing huge problems for Star and Marco. The binder doesn't contain any information on this part of their lives, and so the two are left fending for themselves. Now that the babies are actually mobile and don't have to be taken care of so carefully, Star is having a lot of fun with them. But one of them, the smallest of them, hasn't grown her legs yet. And despite this, somehow ends up being lost somewhere in the house as Star and Marco are rounding up the others. They set out to find her, eventually utilizing the help of the other babies by making searching for their sister into a game. The moral of the story being that rules are important, but sometimes fun is just as much so. This episode was super interesting because it illustrated something that I hadn't even realized about the two main characters. Rules are important, but sometimes fun is just as much so. That is a fact of life, and these two characters encapsulate that very well. Though up until very recently they have existed at the far extremes of those two statements, Marco being very rule-oriented and Star being very fun-oriented. Now they are starting to meet more towards the middle, and this episode is kind of a reflection of that journey, a little microcosm of their characterizations up to this point. There's really not much more remarkable to say about the moral of this episode, though there are some more remarkable things to say about the episode itself. The tadpoles are freaking hilarious and adorable. I really like seeing them. The return of Buff Frog is also welcome. I really hope we get some more character development for the guy soon. He's a super interesting character, and if we can get character development for the king, I don't see why we can't get character development for this guy too. There's a whole bunch of classic slapstick comedy in this episode, which was just great. Because of the setting in a suburban house, it reminded me of kind of a Tom and Jerry type of thing, which was certainly a nice touch, even if it was completely unintentional. And the song that they used to round up all of the tadpoles to get them to help look for their sister marks the return of Space Unicorn to the show. For those of you who may be wondering, yes, it is still my ringtone. It is just that fun of a song. That said, though, of course, as per usual, I'd like to know, what do you guys think of this episode? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. Either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.